Hey everybody, this is Rustin with Metalholic, and with us today, of course you know her as Ida Evileye of Crucified Barbara. How are you doing?
Hello, I'm doing great. How are you?
Absolutely wonderful. You guys are in New York City tonight, 1 week left, wrapping up your first U.S. tour. How's the experience been so far?
Yeah, I can't even begin to tell you. It's been amazing. As you mentioned, we've never been here before, so we didn't really know what to expect, but it's been way higher than we had any idea from the beginning. So we're so psyched about the tour, and all the shows have been great so far. And it's so cool to be in New York tonight.
Absolutely, and you guys played like last weekend, I believe it was. You guys played Chicago, and they streamed the entire show worldwide. Was it strange knowing that you could have potentially been playing for like 1 million people or more?
Yeah, I think that's a nice development of the technique that you can do it like that. And our singer even said hello to her mom in the microphone. And but we had people watching all over Europe, and we have a lot of fans in France and Italy, so they were tuned in. It was like 5 o'clock in the morning back home, so everybody went up early and had coffee and watched the concert. So that was really cool.
Well, yeah, and it was really nice for those of us, like, you came near where I was at, but not on a date that I could get to you, so I actually had to watch that show and actually reviewed it online. It was great, so, it's nice that we have that technology. So, now, does anything in particular stand out for you most from this North American run? Anything unusual, strange, or funny happen so far?
A lot of funny things happen every day. I think to see the cities like San Francisco, Chicago that you mentioned, New York today, and to be able to go to Canada, and it's really, really cool for us since we've never been here, and we've seen so much of the country that you would never be able to do in 6 weeks, and also do incredible shows. So it's been the best of both worlds.
So what's happened so far on the trip that's been sort of funny or out of the ordinary? You got to give us one good story, Yeah,
we have a lot of good stories. We have had a lot of bus parties. We had our bus shut down the other day. The generator went off, and we had no lights in the bus, so we had a naked party. Running around the streets with our butts naked and listening to cheesy Swedish music and being naked. That was funny.
Nice. So now, this being your first time in North America, did you notice a big difference between European and North American crowds?
Yeah, there is absolutely a difference. But I think when you go on stage, it's the same thing. You just play in front of the audience that's there, but just knowing that you're so far away from home is, of course, a big thing.
Well, and you come from such a beautiful country. It's got such rich.
Thank you.
I wish I could go over there and tour just to see the place. But
yeah. You should go there because we can take care of you if you come to Sweden and show you the cool places to go.
Well, that'd be wonderful. Now, I got a chance to talk with your partners in crime, Mia and Clara, last year, right before the new album, The Midnight Chase, came out.
Oh, right.
Of course, whenever a band releases a new album, they're so caught up in it, it's difficult to have sort of a full perspective. It seems like the band's most cohesive record to date, like you guys are finally settling into your signature sound. Having spent almost a year touring on the record now, tell us about the Midnight Chase from your perspective a year later.
Yeah, I think you wrapped it up pretty well, because we've felt all along that this is the best record we've ever done, and just the receivement of the record and the reviews and everything has been amazing. So we're still very proud of it. And sometimes, when you make a record, you feel, oh, this is great, and then 6 months passes by and you find out things that you want to change and with the sound or the songs, but we don't feel that this time around. So I think that's a very good thing.
Well, and that's why I wanted to ask, because back then the album hadn't come out yet, and they were all excited, and I'm like, so I wanted to see if you, a year later, still had that same perspective. It hadn't changed like it so often does. So
no, absolutely. And to play, sorry to interrupt you, but to play the new songs live, that just makes us really feel that we have a really good album and that it really works, and that it's so fun to play these songs in front of an audience and to to understand that they actually work out very well live. That's a really nice feeling.
Absolutely. Now, I know you guys love every song on the album, but for you personally, are there one or two songs on the album that are perhaps closer to your heart or, speak a little bit more loudly to you than the others?
Yeah, I like Everything We Need because I wrote the guitar riff for that.
Mm-hmm.
So that was the song that I worked very hard for, and it wasn't even supposed to be on the album from the beginning, and now it's one of the songs that we always do live. And then also I think it's very fun that we did the Count Me In, the ballad, in a very different way than we've ever written songs, and just trying to break new grounds and try different things, which is always nice to develop and yeah,
Right, and that was a very unique one on it. And of course, like you said, the other one, you guys closed the Chicago show with Everything We Need. So now for you, let's talk a little bit about you. Share with us, if you will, your path to music. What did you listen to growing up, and was there a moment of epiphany for you where that light bulb went off and you said, "This is what I want to do with my life"?
I was like 13, 14, and we grew up, all of us, during the 90s, and I got into Nirvana when I was 13, and that was like Nevermind. That was the only record I listened to for almost a year. Loved that band, and with their type of songs, we could actually play when you're a teenager and don't really know how to play your instruments. It's good to look up to a band that only has like 3 or 4 chords in one song. So we started out playing Nirvana covers, and then that opened the whole world to music for me. And of course, then we started to listen to other different things, and we started listening to heavy metal and classic rock, and that's just been an ongoing process. I love music. I love going to music stores and buy vinyl records and just consume music. And whenever we play at festivals, I always try to catch a few bands and discover new bands. And I love it. And I think that's the point when I met Clara when we were 14 that I decided that this is really what I want to do.
Right, and on vinyl's just the best, isn't it?
Yes, it's nothing like it. We even think in like A and B sides when we put the like track record on the records. We think like old time A and B sides, like it's a vinyl, even though it's a CD.
Right. So now for you, how did you choose bass as your weapon of destruction?
Yes, my weapon of destruction. No. It was kind of a coincidence from the beginning because nobody wants to play the bass, of course. Everybody wants to play the drums or the guitar, so it kind of just ended up with me playing the bass. And in the beginning, I was just really happy about creating music, playing music, and I didn't pay extreme amounts of attention to my instrument. So it's like the last 5-6 years that I really kind of understood the instrument and that I started to practice more and taking lessons and those type of things. So right now I'm really happy about my choice. I love my instrument. I think I have a lot of power in the band. I have both the melodies and the rhythm in one instrument, so that fits me perfectly.
Absolutely. Now, who influenced your style? I mean, and did you start out emulating anyone, or did you just sort of develop your own from the start?
No, I have never taken lessons when I was young. I used to play the piano, but I had a friend who was a few years older than me, guy who I went to school with, and I used to hang out at his place watching old Jaco Pastorio's video clips, and I think I've kind of taught myself the instrument, but as I gotten older, I like to play different type of music styles and just try new things all the time.
Gotcha. Now, are there certain bass players, whether rock or metal, that you really look to?
Yeah, I love Geezer Butler. He's my idol. It would be so cool to meet him sometime. And of course, I love Lemmy, even though he plays more of a guitar bass kind of bass playing. But I think he's a really good bass player and a very cool front figure.
Well, in a few weeks, Metalholic is going to be releasing its article on the top female hard rock and metal bassists. Of course, you're on the list. Are there any other female bassists in your genre that impress you?
What a good question. I always look up to I don't remember her name, but the bass player for Smashing Pumpkins. I think she's really cool. I've seen them live a couple of times, and she always kicks ass and plays very well. So I like that. But besides that, I'm more into the bass playing, not the kind of if it's a woman or a man who's playing.
Right.
And I think we need more women in rock. I think it's kind of boring that there are so few around. But I think it's getting better all the time, and I can see in Sweden that there's a lot of girls playing. And when we did a South American tour last year, and it was like almost 60% of the audience were females, and everybody seems to be in a band. So I think there's hope for the future.
Absolutely, and you were one of the front runners. So thank you and congratulations on that. So for all of us musicians out there, and especially for the young female musicians who are coming up and who are looking at you as sort of, someone to aspire to, can you give us a breakdown of your rig, the bass you play, amp, special effects, and is it different for you live and in the studio?
Yeah, of course. When we're rehearsing and when we recorded the album, I have an old amp peg from '69. The model is called the B4, but it's a bit rebuilt, so it's got a master volume instead of the original, but it doesn't affect the sound. And then I have a 4x10 Ampeg cabinet. But on this tour, we since me and Clara play Mesa Boogie, I have a Mesa Boogie M6, which works out really well. It's really good for touring. I kind of really hesitant to bring my old Ampeg because if something would happen to it, it would be hard to fix it on tour. And then I have a Sandberg bass. It's a handmade German bass with both active and passive pickups, which makes it a bit more punch to it if you use active pickups. And then I have a tube screener, an Ibanez pedal, a distortion tube pedal, which is amazing, and that's basically all I need. And sometimes I use an Ibanez wah-wah pedal on some songs.
Keep it pretty simple, huh?
Yeah, I like the simple things.
There you go.
I think if you try to have like 120 different type of sounds, of course that would suit the right type of music. But for us, it's say kind of classic rock, and all you need is a good basic sound.
Aside from music, obviously, and your family, of course, what are you into or passionate about?
I love reading. It's one of my biggest interests. Anything from like crime, like I don't know what you call it, but like really exciting books to like big literature. I read a lot, and both in English and in Swedish. And then I like a lot to hang out with my friends and have intellectual discussions about everything in life. And I love going to concerts, of course, since I love music. And when it comes to my family, I don't think I see them enough since we're away all the time. And my husband, he's in music too, and so we haven't like really seen each other at all this year. So that's kind of the boring part of touring all the time, but it's also very nice when you finally see each other.
Absolutely. So, and it's good to have that separation and be able to, have a place to go and release everything else. So now you guys will be heading home soon. What's on tap next for Crucified Barbara?
We get home and we're gonna, I think, wash some clothes and take a shower, and then we're gonna go out in Sweden to do 3 dates, and then we're gonna go on a European tour, and then the summer festival starts in June for us. So we're gonna play Sonisphere in France and a lot of other good festivals. So that's gonna be fun.
Excellent. So our last question, just for fun, now that you've been on tour, you've been over here in America, you've toured all over Europe and everything, what's the strangest food you've eaten while you're on tour, and where was it at?
I had snails for breakfast in France. That was kind of weird and kind of not that good for having as a breakfast. It was like a buffet, and I've never tried snails, and the other girls, they're vegetarians, so they were like, you need to try the snails, and everything on that buffet was so disgusting, and the snails was probably the most disgusting thing. I think it might be great if they're cooked the right way. This was definitely not the right way. So that was kind of stuck in my mouth for days. Yeah, that was kind of horrible. Another really crappy thing that we've had is pasta with French fries and nothing else.
Oh, wow.
That was kind of worse. No, but we've eaten so many different things. But I think it's nice to try local food. You always find something new that you like. And especially here in America, we thought it was going to be hard to find good vegetarian food, but it's not. It's like everywhere.
Oh, yeah, it's become a booming thing here the last decade or so.
Yeah.
Awesome, Ida Evileye. I'm messing up today. I'm tongue-tied. Ida Evileye. See, I'm just...
That?
Yeah, well, see, over here in America, we see it and we pronounce it Ida. So I say Ida Evileye.
Yeah.
So now that I'm trying to reverse it, I'm trying to say Ida Evileye.
No, you can say Ida. It's everybody says Clara, and her name is Clara.
Clara,
and, but it's always like that when it comes to a new country. I'm just glad I don't have like a really weird name that you can't pronounce at all.
Well, Ida, thank you so much for taking the time to talk to Metalholic. Be safe out on the road. Thank you for coming to America, and we hope that we'll get you back here for a tour next year at some point and get to some of the cities you didn't make this time. And have a great show tonight.
Thank you so much, and thank you for the time. And I just got to say that we really love it here. We're definitely going to do more tours over here. This is just the beginning.